Hey everyone, Liz here with Springfield Leather. This is our Make Something podcast. I'm here this morning with Elizabeth Cratchville with EJK Leather. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for coming in.
Yes.
You are a rather young leather crafter. How old are you?
I am 19. I just turned 19 in August.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And you have already built quite the little industry of bag making down in Arkansas, where you're from.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit, how did you get started?
Well, we have a farm called Crossroads Gardens, so we do plants and then produce. So from the time I was little, I was always looking for something that I could make and sell at our market booth.
Absolutely.
So I started off making these little felt wallets, little pouches.
Okay.
Just my grandma had taught me to sew, and she found that simple little project that I could make. So I made those for a while, and then it kind of eventually turned into clay necklaces and clay earrings.
Okay.
And that was kind of before the clay stuff really got popular. So they were pretty simple, and they were also very breakable.
Sure.
I learned that was not my best thing. So I was in Hobby Lobby one day and I saw a little pamphlet for beaded earrings. And I looked at the pictures and I was like, I think I could make that. So I bought the stuff, and then I went home that day, and a couple of hours later, I had some beaded earrings made up. And then, so I did that for several years, and eventually I wanted to do leather earrings.
Okay.
They kind of started getting popular around that time, and we had one of our customers who bought plants from our farm, and he was a leather worker. So we kind of asked him if he would give me a few lessons on leather working, and he showed me the basics like tooling. He tried to teach me lacing. That did not go well.
I still have to look it up every time. I can do the middle part, but starting and finishing, I'm just like, all right, Kevin, where's your video?
It's a nightmare. And then saddle stitching and doing all the dyeing and stuff like that. So I did that, and then I started doing leather earrings, and it kind of just evolved from there to all the bags and wallets, portfolios and stuff like that.
Very nice. So you're just a little entrepreneur from when you were a little tyke running around.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's so funny, your whole little thing, we've got the beads, we've got all the stuff. I know when I first started here, I started on the bead side, and the first thing they teach you is how to make that little loop with the needle nose pliers so that you can make earrings and do that whole thing. That's really spectacular. So now you have quite a line of products that you produce. So kind of talk about, I don't know, what's a day in the life of EJK Leather? What do you do?
Well, every day is different because I still work full-time on our farm too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I do that, and then I also do the leather working. The leather working is my business. It's what I do, but it's sort of like what I do in my free time too because of the farm.
Still your part-time job.
Yeah. It's my part-time job, but it's still my full-time job.
Yeah.
So every day is different. Here lately, I'm getting prepared for craft show season and the holiday season.
Okay.
So there are going to be several long days coming up.
Yeah. What kind of craft shows do you like to go to?
I do a couple in Springdale, Arkansas, and then some that are just closer to where I live, around Mountain Home, Arkansas, and then West Plains, Missouri, too.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Have you been doing those for a while now? Do people come and expect your booth to be there?
The last couple of years, it's been fun to see my repeat customers, especially at Springdale, Arkansas.
Yeah.
I do one up there, a Christmas show. And last year we had so many people walk by. They were still carrying their bag, or they'll whip out their wallet and be like, I've carried this for years. I need another one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really exciting to see. I know, especially as a young business grows, just it's encouraging to have the people that are still appreciating your products come back around and let you know that. I think that's really neat. So how did you find your style of leathercraft? How did you we've got a couple of your products sitting out here today. So for those of you that aren't just listening, but also watching this lovely podcast, we've got a couple little, like a beauty bag maybe?
I call them a clamshell bag.
A clamshell bag.
Mhm.
So we've got a couple different sizes of those. This adorable tiny little thing. It almost looks like a poop bag holder. But I'm sure you could use it like lipstick kind of situation. I love it. And then we've got everything to a really nice, like a business tote.
Yeah,
even.
I designed this one where it could be a laptop bag. Its name is laptop bag / weekender tote. So it could be
Nice.
both. Yeah.
Very cool. It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's the waxy crunch buffalo leather.
Yeah. So how did you do you do your own patterns? Have you kind of started with buying some patterns and then making them? And then how did you curate your line?
So a few things I've started out with like an actual pattern, but I don't think anything that I've ever actually started out with a pattern, I've actually stuck with that pattern.
Sure.
I've modified most of the patterns and kind of made them unique and a little custom and different.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah. A funny thing about these clamshell bags, that was actually to get the shape, to trace out the shape. We actually used like a dinner platter, one of our plates from the cabinet. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then we just scaled it up from there. So.
You never know what size circle you need.
I know.
That's a really great.
Yeah.
I always love when I need something to walk around my house and I'm like, okay, what lid of product, like, will make this little arc that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Very cool. Check out this little pink lady over here.
That one is one of my newest
Cute.
styles. I call it a Beth bag. I named it after my mom.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's very nice. You put in a good zipper.
Yes.
I know zippers are always something every time we do our live videos. Zippers are always something that the people want help with. They struggle with the zipper. But you do a nice little gusset there.
They can be
I like
tricky
it.
at first when you're first starting,
Yeah.
especially if you don't like roll your edges on everything. But they definitely, when I first started, I just did all open tote bags.
Yeah.
That was it. No stitch handles or rolled front pocket or the top seam on the bag. But then we started making them like that. So.
Yeah. Well, tell me about what leather kind of means to you and your journey with this. You tried a whole bunch of things as you were doing your little side hustle with the farm. What has leather, how's it spoken to you? Why did you land on this?
Well, it just kind of, when I started doing the earrings, the gentleman, his name is Billy, who gave me lessons and showed me some of the basics of the leather working. He actually turned us on to Springfield leather here, and I came up here and I knew nothing when I came in, like nothing at all. I actually, I was like 12.
12 years old.
Or maybe even 11 at that point. I'm not sure, but
wow.
Yeah, I was not super old then, but
well, you're not super old now either.
No.
She made earrings. It wasn't like one pair. She made hundreds of pairs.
Yeah.
You're a little entrepreneur.
Yes.
You don't do anything small.
That is very true. Yeah, I go all in on something. That's kind of how my family does it. Well, yeah, all in.
Well, that's one thing that I really loved about kind of seeing you guys come in is that you always are here with your parents.
Yes.
And so tell me, how have they impacted your goals, or how have they supported you over the years?
They always try to help me and encourage me with everything. They always try to just help me any way they can.
You. Yeah. That's really awesome. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm 12 coming in. I didn't quite have the timeline in my head when you were talking about all the things. So when did you establish your EJK leather?
Well, I started my business when I was when I was 9 or 10, I needed to get business cards to put my earrings on.
Okay.
And so that's kind of how I got the name EJK's Custom Creations, which is kind of funny now because I don't do any custom orders. I don't do custom designs. I can do colors, but nothing custom. So people are always asking me, can you do this custom? I'm like, no, why would you think that?
Like, I custom make them and then you can buy them.
Yes. So I had no idea that I would still have that name in 10 years. So it's kind of crazy, but what's I going with that?
Let's see here. How have you, I guess just how did you grow from the earrings? How did that transition happen? You came up here. I know we sell you a lot of leather.
Yes.
We sell you quite a bit.
Yeah.
I know you like to come in and dig through kind of our odd lots. Tony's always got your number on when he sees something that might work for your bag specifically, or we're going through the Moore and Giles palettes, and he's like, my girl EJ, she needs some of this.
I really like all of the unique leathers. Like, my favorite part about this is the design part. That's what I like most about the earrings. It's the design and the colors, all the different colors that you can use. That's what's most fun to me. And even like picking out the zippers on the bags and what thread color you're going to use. That's the fun part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know myself when I'm making a knife sheath, because that's really the only thing that I make. It is a lot of fun to be able to put all of those elements together and be able to feel like you're crafting something very special, and it's got your heart and soul into even something as simple as a thread color, or the style of zipper that you try, or like the pull that you put on it. I see you have little custom pull tags on all of your zippers. You don't just leave it blank. You put a little bit of extra on there. What's your favorite thing to make? My
favorite thing, the most fun thing to make, would be the leather earrings, because I love the colors and the design.
So you're still selling quite a few of those?
They've kind of started not to sell as well,
really?
But I still make them, and they're still fun to make. I do some. I don't have much time to, but I like to do some that are like tooling, and then I can paint them and stuff like that. That's always fun.
Those are good.
Yes.
So when you go to your shows, how many bags will you sell while you're at a show?
You never know. My best seller for my shows last year was a money clip design that I make. Just a simple little money clip. I sell them for $25, so they make a great gift for somebody, or they're also just nice because you can slip in your pocket and you're ready to go with the money clips.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
What did you sell this week? 19?
Yeah, we had it's a neat little event in our area. It's called Off the Beaten Path Studio Tour, and people come to your studio. There's about 24 different artists on the tour, and that was this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we just wrapped that up.
So you had people coming in from the area to see your space?
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
I know we have to do like a house tour in the area, and that sounds very similar. You can open up your house.
It's just studios that aren't open to the public
okay.
on a daily basis or whatever. And it's 30 miles within a distance of Mountain View, Arkansas, which they have the big folk center, and they've got all kinds of crafts and things over there. So
very cool. For those of you listening, we have Elizabeth's father sitting in the corner, Joey. So he might pop in from time to time, but that's who's talking out of frame. Oh, that is really neat.
Yeah.
How many people did you have come by?
I think around 40-something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just kind of had your door open. You're just ready. Had a little sign outside.
Yeah.
We live in a town of 200 people.
Yeah.
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
That's a lot of people to come by.
But there's people that fly in from other states just to come to this event every year. I mean, don't tell how many people you have from out of state.
It's I believe it was the 24th annual tour this year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was my third year to do the tour.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So for you, do you only sell at shows, or do you also have a website? Not for things online.
I do have a website. My best outlet right now is our farmers market in Mountain Home, Arkansas, because we are already there selling our plants and produce. So there's really not any expense involved in me going there other than the one-time booth fee that you pay. But I sell a lot there. I do have a website, but I can't really keep up with posting on the website and in-person sales.
Right.
There's not really any point to take a picture of a bag, post it on your website,
and then take it to the farmer's market
and sell it the next day.
Absolutely. So that's really cool. So you guys are at the farmer's market in Mountain Home. Okay. So you can check you out Friday and Saturday, or is it just one day a week?
It's on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I'm usually just there on Saturdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. On Facebook and Instagram, I post all my new designs, and I'd have a lot of sales from Facebook too.
Okay. So EJK Customs on Facebook?
EJK's Custom Creations.
Custom Creations on Facebook. Very nice. Let's see. So tell me, besides leather crafting, what do you like to do? What do you do in your spare time?
I really like to sleep. That's always
Amen.
a good one.
I was going to say between the fields and the sewing machine, you're probably pretty busy.
Yes, yeah, that definitely takes up most of my free time.
Yeah.
I do like to swim. I like to fish. I really like food.
Of course. Do you have any good fishing holes? I know we always like a good fishing story.
We just have a pond on our property that I fish at. I've actually never fished in like the lake I have fished in the lake, but like the river. But our pond is usually where I go.
Yeah. How do you feel you're 19 and you've kind of already got a full-time gig going on. It seems like you've kept yourself pretty busy. So what do you see for the future of EJK Custom?
I just see more products and just focusing on expanding the business more. I've got plans. I've got a studio, which used to be our screened-in back porch until I saved up enough money that we can close the space.
Nice.
But I've definitely outgrown that space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say that with the amount of leather that you buy, I imagine you probably have a pretty good selection.
Yes. Yeah, I actually had to move all of my leather out of my studio for the event this weekend. So
People had places to stand.
Yeah. I had I think 21 the big black tote trash cans,
Mm-hmm.
I had 21 of those. Actually, no, 23 because I had 2 that I left in my studio filled with leather.
That's a lot of leather.
Yeah.
That's a lot of leather. It always does surprise me that people keep buying after they have such a good selection themselves. But, you never know what you're going to need or what we're going to find in a random odd lot selection of SB Foot or Moore and Giles or whatever that it is.
The crazy thing is I will probably sew up most of those cans for the craft show season and holiday
You're going to go through those 23 barrels of leather?
Probably most of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have an estimate of how many individual products you sell in a month?
No.
2
months are really the same.
Yeah.
I don't really keep a good track of that. I should.
Inventory
but I don't.
is fun,
Yeah.
right? It's a good time. But mostly this kind of section of time coming up is going to be where you're going to move the majority of your product.
Yes. And then during the July and June and May, the vacation months,
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Home is sort of a little bit of a vacation town. There's
Sure.
a lake right there, so we get a lot of tourists coming to the lake.
Nice. Yeah. So they go to the farmers markets and the
Mm-hmm.
events that are going on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You're starting to get Christmas orders already. She's got people interested in 20 items at a time and things like that.
Oh, wow. So you maybe like business orders for their companies or things like that? Yeah. Very cool.
A few years ago, I did an order for the Arkansas Association of Prosecuting Attorneys, and they ordered, I think, either 20 or 30 zippered portfolios.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever tried to make one of those, but they're a nightmare.
Yeah. That zipper putting in, I'm sure, was not fun.
That was not fun because you had to sandwich it between 2 or 3 layers of leather.
Yeah.
And then if it came out even just a little bit, you were done. You had to start over. I didn't know if we were ever going to get those done.
Well, they seemed like they were pretty pleased with them.
They liked them,
they
yes.
passed the word around.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I graduated from college at ASU Mountain Home last year, and I ended up kind of becoming friends or acquaintances with a lot of the people there.
Yeah.
And so they ordered I believe 30 of my large journal covers for their system board for the whole ASU system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when people are thinking about, marketing their stuff or materials, business, business gift giving kind of end of the season, corporate parties or, corporate events or whatever. A lot of times they want little custom things or fun things, and there's some good money in that. They're really.
She's got a realtor that buys every year from her.
Nice.
Yeah, she got little junior-sized portfolios
Yeah.
with a junior legal pad for all of her realtors. So.
Very cool. I think that's an awesome little market to have curated for yourself, finding some of those big customers. It does make the work go a little bit when you can I know like making individual things is probably a lot more fun because you get to be a little bit more creative, but you actually can probably make money on the batch work a little bit easier. You got a good system.
Yeah. I like to cut up a whole piece of leather. Like, it's not very, I don't know, profitable or good for time-wise to just like cut out one thing from a piece of leather.
Yeah.
It's good to cut up the whole piece while you've got it out with that thread color and you've got that color zipper out. It's just easier to make up the whole thing than it is to do like an order from this piece, an order from that piece.
Well, so since you don't do custom orders and you are making the things that you want to make, how you want to make them, so kind of talk me through your process. You pull out a side of, I don't know, you grab a side of this teal leather. So what is that like? What are you going to make out of it?
I usually try and do, if it's a leather like that'll do a totes. Those are one of my better selling items. I tried and do a large tote and then a smaller tote and then definitely some smalls like flip-flop card wallets, money clips, some of these little like carry-alls. In this new design here, I just try and fit as much as I can out of that piece and cut up the whole thing.
I think that's a really great way to do about it. Like you said, I know when we're, setting up production runs in the shop, if you're going to already have all the things out for this, all the edge coating or whatever, the thread colors, all the things, getting all that set up, ready to go, and then just blazing everything out. So you don't have to do a lot of changes, make the process slow down.
When you literally have almost every color zipper YKK makes.
You just buy it by the roll?
She has a nice little. Just 2 footers.
Usually 36 inches. Yeah. I have a lot of zippers. Yeah, he loves it when I'm going through all the zippers and being like, Dad, do you like this color or this color? He's like, I don't care. Just pick one out. Yeah.
Tell me how long to cut it. So do your parents help you a lot in your little production shop?
My dad helps me with the cutting out and then some of the assembly work. My mom helps me more with like the website stuff and stuff like that. Or like at craft shows, they both help me sell at our booth. Yeah. We all kind of have a sales background. Me with growing up at the farmer's market. And then my dad also grew up at a farmer's market and then he sold cars for several years. And my mom used to work in a gift shop. So when we go to a craft show, we are there to sell. We're not there to sit on our phones.
You're like, we have stuff to do.
Yes, we're there. We're up moving around in our booth, which it really helps it. Even if you just say good morning to somebody or how are you doing?
Yeah.
Not just, I'm going to stare at my phone this whole time.
Right. Yeah. Go with some purpose.
Yeah.
Go with the goal.
We see so many people that will literally just sit there and won't even talk to a person.
Yeah. And it's like, why are you even here?
You walk through 500 vendors and 2 people talk to you and you're like, why are you here paying that money if you're not going to sell your products yourself? Nobody else is going to.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about the farm a little bit. What do you guys do? What do you guys do on our farm?
Well, we do bedding plants and herbs. So we do like all the vegetable plants, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, and then we do some flowers too. We're kind of starting to get into that more. And then we do like over close to 100 different varieties of herbs.
Wow.
Plants. And we sell all those in the spring and then throughout the summer too.
Yeah.
And then we do all of the produce from the plants too. So we do a lot of produce.
So you're selling, so in the spring you're selling plants to people?
Yeah, plants. We have a greenhouse.
Okay.
30 by 140 foot sales greenhouse.
How? I'm sorry, what was it?
It's a 30 by 144. That's all full of plants for sale.
Okay. That's quite the operation.
Yeah. And then
you guys do.
We keep 8 to 10 acres in production with stuff like actually planted in the ground too. So it's a lot because it's mainly just myself and then my dad doing that. We've got another guy that helps us some, but it's mainly just us.
90-year-old grandma runs the greenhouse sales, so we can be out in the fields doing stuff. My mom helps. She waters and does things like that. But yeah. And we live in a commune. We got 3 houses. My grandma lives there. My parents live there. We built all the houses and everything, so we all
very cool.
help each other out.
Well, that sounds like a lot. I mean, I tried to do a garden like one summer and I was like, okay, that was too much. Like just watering every night, just doing all the things, keeping up with it. And then like you go on vacation for like 2 weeks and then it's like, it's just over.
We don't go on vacation.
Yeah, I was going to
We go to Branson for a day.
You guys come up here.
We leave for a Saturday and a Sunday or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
It is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when I first started, like, actually doing some bags and some stuff like that, I was funding everything, so I didn't have the funds to buy, like, 30 pieces of leather,
Yeah.
so we would be running up here, like, we would get up for market at, like, 3:30 in the morning, go to market until noon, and then we'd head up here because I sold all my product and needed more leather, so.
Well, we
Yeah.
never thought she would do. She was buying enough to make 4 or 5 bags and literally selling them every week, and it was.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is neat. Yeah.
Yeah. Point is like, we got to bring enough leather here. We don't have to keep running back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are still up here quite a bit, like probably at least once a month. I would imagine that you guys come up. That is really amazing. Man, I'm just still impressed that you wanted to do something later in the day after you got done doing all the vegetable growing on the outside. That's enough work for me. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down now.
That's a lot.
We work 80 to 100 hours a week between the farm and her stuff.
That's amazing. So you are all self-funded from little 10-year-old Elizabeth. She started this.
Yeah. Other than my sewing machine, I have a Cobra Class 26, which is my leather sewing machine that I use for everything. Other than that, my family went together for my 14th birthday. So a few days before my 14th birthday, I actually got my sewing machine, and they went together on that. But other than that, it's pretty much been me. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. When she was selling sewing cloth, when COVID hit, she started selling sewing masks.
Sure.
She was selling 125 of those every Wednesday, every Saturday. So, and then she broke her arm or ruptured a tendon. So she's one arm trying to cut those out.
You had to cut a circle.
Yeah.
With a rotary cutter.
With one arm.
And her
my left hand.
It was funny. She had a whole production line going.
Yeah, I did. I sewed enough masks to buy my first truck.
Yeah, you were 13, weren't you, then, and bought your truck?
Yeah, I did.
13 buying a truck?
Yeah, with what she made off selling masks.
Oh, wow.
$5 a piece, She doesn't do anything small. She never makes one of something. It's a bunch.
I'm impressed. I'm tired of just listen to it. This is incredible. It sounds like you got a lot of hard work drive from your family.
Yes, yeah. My family is not a lazy family.
No.
They all about hurt themselves.
I say, farming is hard business.
It is.
That's you have to be super dedicated. Just like you said, like you can't even leave for more than a day or two without, having some backup there if you're going to.
There, you gotta have. You can't be gone long because it doesn't take long for something to go bad or wrong.
Yeah. So really, really strong work ethic that you're coming from. So what do you see in the next, 5 to 10 years?
I'm definitely in probably next 1 to 2 years, I'll be building a bigger studio with more space. So
sure.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Is that going to go on the compound too?
Yes. It's going
to cross the drive.
Yeah, cross the drive. Not very
I think
far
I know
away.
a guy that does metal buildings if you need one.
My grandpa is a carpenter, so
perfect.
And my dad does some carpentry work too.
So you guys got it. Just all in house.
Everything on the farm we build. So.
Yeah.
Do you have you started sketching out your plans yet? You're going to have your wall of zippers, all the things.
I've definitely been thinking about how to display those and where they'll be functional.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that a lot and how I'm going to make storage for all the leather. It's definitely going to be big space to figure out where everything's going to go in.
Yeah. Plenty of cutting surfaces, open. That's the one thing I feel like leather crafters, it's you need so much room to lay out because you need a 4x8 table to lay out anything. And then if you're buying a whole hide, sometimes you might need an 8x8 table, which you can always cut them in half. But a lot of times you get better yield if you leave it whole, if that's an option, so you really having just like a clear 4x8 at all times, I feel like it's really important. And who has the space, like if you're just crafting in your house for a clear 4x8 at any given time.
That was when she started. She had the dining room full, the breakfast nook full. You would lay out the bags all across the back of the couch because she was still in school. So I'd cut while she was at school, and then she'd come home and sew till 10 or 11 at night. And we just ran out. The living room was full of leather. We had it just stacked up in the living room. And finally, my wife was like, "We got to do something about this."
Yeah.
We built the studio. It's 400 square foot. We thought, "Oh, this will be plenty." No.
It's not.
That's really amazing that you kept with it. You realized what would sell, what was selling. You're a little sales lady yourself, so that helps. You're not afraid to get out there and talk to the people. Let's see. Is there like one experience that you can think of that really kind of cemented that like this is what I want to do?
Not really. Once I realized how much like design work and how much like how many different colors and things like that were involved with leather, I really started to like it a lot.
Yeah.
It was fun though. Yeah, when I first started, I knew absolutely nothing, and I remember one time in particular, I didn't know about double-sided basting tape.
Sure.
I thought the only adhesive was like the barge glue. It smells terrible.
Mm-hmm. It'll really eat your lungs.
Especially in your dining room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we learned about double-sided basting tape. It has been a lifesaver.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that little product is like, especially for any bag work. Mm-hmm. Like if you're doing bag work, you don't need those seams. Like the glue is really unnecessary for a lot of them. You're like, I just need it to hold while I sew. Like that's what I need, or to do folded edges and different things. Yes. So yeah, lot less time, way better on the lungs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can remember we were cutting with, she had leather scissors. We were trying to cut stuff with leather scissors and a utility knife. It just wasn't going real well. Anyway, we came up here. I believe it's Jeff that used to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And he really kind of took her under his wing and stuff and helped her. And he's like, "Oh, use a rotary cutter." And it was like, "Oh, we got them sitting around the house. Why weren't we using one?" You never thought to use it on leather. We were just clueless, We didn't know. All we'd seen was the little bit she'd done in the dining room with her friend tooling and things. We had no idea.
It just takes a little bit, just a little like something like, oh, right, that's totally usable for this situation. Yeah. Well, very cool.
I started out just buying like 1 or 2 square feet of things. Even I think sometimes like a half of a square foot of leather for earrings. And yeah, Jeff was always so nice. He'd let me pick out just like where I wanted on that piece and everything. But he was very helpful.
Well, and you wanted all the colors, You couldn't afford all of them, but you wanted a piece of all
a little sample of each. Yeah. I mean, with earrings, absolutely. You can get so much out of a half a square foot of leather, and if you come in and you get like 10 different pieces, you're going to make a fun array of things. And we definitely miss Jeff around here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that he was part of your leather journey.
And Mama T.
Oh, yeah.
She showed her how to do the first bag, just said, take this, do this, because we tried some of the little stuff. We'll tell them.
Yeah, we first started out, when I first got my machine, everybody was like, you should do a big project like a bag, like your tote bag pattern is what actually was recommended to me. And I was like, I don't know about that. I feel like a little card holder would be a lot easier. Yeah, it wasn't. You guys were right. The bag was definitely easier.
Sometimes working with something that just has some room to maneuver instead of like tiny little parts is, it can be good. What's your favorite thing to make? I know you like this one. Is this your kind of favorite option that you build, or
no?
That
one is not very fun. To put the little D-rings on it, you have to roll the whole thing up, and I leave the table on my machine.
Okay.
So that makes that really kind of tricky. I have a tote that looks a lot like that. It's just like 3/4 of the size.
Okay.
Yeah. And those are definitely a lot more fun to make.
Yeah.
They don't have D-rings on them.
I know all the cool little design things that you really like, and then you start making it and you're like, why did I do this to myself?
Yes.
Well, let's see here. I haven't opened this thing up yet. So let's take a look at this guy.
There's a couple big pockets on the inside, and then it has the big front pocket.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, very nice. Kind of just some loose, the loose style pockets. Mm-hmm. That's always just really nice. Yeah. Just tack them in easily. A good bottom. Mm-hmm. Got to put a bottom in there. Yeah, this is a great little weekender.
Yeah. It's a very versatile style. You can use it for work or then just
Mm-hmm.
for travel. I had a cousin who was flying back home to California, and she got one out of an Italian leather, one of the
Saffianos.
Yes, Saffianos. I always say that wrong. She got one out of that, and she said she loved it because she didn't have to worry about it when she slid it under the airplane seat.
Yeah, that is nice. Let's see here.
You've
So
got bags all over the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
You shipped last week. You shipped to Alaska. Where else did you ship? Oregon. You got an order for there.
Connecticut.
And this is coming through on Facebook mostly.
Or people have been tourists and bought something, and then their sister sees it,
and they want one.
And it's amazing how many jumps it makes from that first person that saw it at market and took one of her business cards.
Well, I tell you what, as somebody who is so young that has built, I mean, I feel like, let's see, you just turned 19. So if you started when you were 13 with the coming into the leather, I cannot imagine as a person going to a farmer's market or like a little craft show, buying something from a 15-year-old that is of such good quality and then not getting home and wanting to give that to my loved ones or to share the story. You don't meet a lot of super young craftspeople that are so passionate about what they're doing and very serious about what you're doing. Like this isn't just a fling for you. Like you are invested. You're invested your time. You've invested your family in helping you to create this thing. And that really comes through to your customer. You're making a long-lasting product. You've been there for the 5 years. I'm sure a lot of these people that started buying from you when you were even just a young teen are so impressed to see that you're still going and still doing it. And your products are getting more complicated and bigger and really cool. So what do you sell something like this for?
The large tote, I sell it for $180, and that includes tax.
Oh, that's a good price. Yeah. That's a good price.
Your big totes are $90.
Yes.
That's probably one of our best sellers.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah. And then like this little guy, it's one of my newest designs. It's $80.
$80. Okay. Yeah, I think that's super reasonable.
Yeah, I try and make all of my products pretty affordable for people, but they're still getting a good quality product. That's on every business card. It's kind of my motto. Quality is handmade. So everything, I try and make a good quality product that kind of has a timeless design. So it really won't go out of style in the next 2 years.
Yeah, it can grow and age with you and become, that's one of the great things about leather is that it ages and it patinas and, it kind of becomes one with the person that's carrying it.
Well, you've got a unique look. I mean, you don't just do a brown bag. You see so many dark brown leather bags, which that's their best seller, but she also has all the bright colors that people, they'll be way across the market. You could watch somebody be drawn right to that bright bag.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes it may not even be the thing that they buy, but at least it brings them in because they see something fun and cool.
That's another thing about my bags is they don't have the stiff handles that just like stick straight up like a lot of leather bags that look kind of similar to mine do, but mine all have softer handles and a lot of people like that.
Well, that's fun. So what's another little, I don't know, tell me about your designs or how they come about or like some fun little things like that you like about your products.
Most of the designs, I've either seen a picture that I wanted of something and then I tried to recreate that, or I've started off with a pattern and then just kind of changed it till I liked it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot of trial and error.
Well, and it sounds like maybe you're listening to your customers as they come up, like something like a soft leather handle, something that might be a selling point and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's good to know. This is kind of something that people aren't seeing and that they might want to have in a product. So you're kind of following through with that. I do know that recently you bought a hot foil machine.
Yes.
Have you been able to start using that yet?
I still have not used that. And I still need to get you my logo.
I know. I was just going to say, are you sticking with your thing? Have you refined it down to something a little simpler? I don't know if that's even the right word.
I have been through so many logo variations of the same logo that I'm really tired of doing that, and I'm just thinking about sticking with the
Sure.
same logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I recently, in the last year or so, I kind of redid it to where it just has a circle with EJK's Custom Creations and then a little bag in the center
Mhm.
of it. And it's simple. It's pretty easy to read. Gets the point across. So
Well, that sounds like that's the
Yeah.
stamp we need to make for you.
yeah. It's funny. I actually don't like how leather smells.
Really?
Like a hair on hide smell.
No,
Oh, sometimes the hair on hide does have,
Mhm.
it's different than leather.
it's chemically.
Yeah.
We bought I don't know, it had to be 20 of them or so one day, and we were in a little Toyota RAV4. We had them all stacked up in the back, plus all of the other rolls of leathers.
It was probably hot outside too, wasn't it?
Yes,
Well,
very
we
hot.
went to Bass Pro somewhere, and we came back out and got in the car, and we're like, oh.
You like roll down the window.
Yeah.
100 degrees out.
It was
Oh,
bad
no.
because we all have really bad allergies too, so the least thing
little.
scented will set us off. So it's,
Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, especially the acid wash ones.
Mhm.
I don't know what they're doing with those colors, or sometimes they have and it's a weird soapy smell,
Yeah.
and I'm I don't know what this is. I don't
Mhm.
know how
We
they're
noticed
washing it.
Green almost any of the green leathers have a lot of those have a different smell.
Yeah.
You guys are reminding me of one of the people that works in the shop. They anytime they'll be like, "This smells like Play-Doh," or lemon peels. I don't know. They just always make a comparison to different things.
Green leather always has a really, I don't know, it's a funky scent. It's kind of chemically
Maybe that's why
again.
Kevin doesn't
Yeah.
like green leather, and then it's my favorite color. So I'm always excited about green stuff, and he's like, nah,
Yeah.
none of this, Liz.
I don't notice the leather smell anymore, but when I first, the first time I walked into Springfield Leather, I was like, man, it stinks in here.
I think you're the only person I've ever heard say that. That's
I
really
know.
funny.
I thought it was funny too because I'm a leather worker that
Yeah.
doesn't actually like how leather smells.
Well, then thank goodness for nose blindness, because I guess if you would have had to smell it for forever, or acknowledge that you smell it forever. I know that's one of the sad things. Everybody walks in and they're like, oh, I love, everybody else loves the smell. And they're like, oh, you're so lucky you get to work here. And I was like, I haven't smelled leather in 12 years, guys.
Yeah.
I don't, it doesn't scent anymore. I have to be gone for 3 weeks before I come back. And I'm like, oh, maybe a little bit of leather there. Let's see.
I got one if you need one, then you can reword it.
Okay.
So you mentioned earlier, you still do the earrings even though they don't sell great. And that's, I don't know why, but this is always fun for me to hear about. So what's your balance of, it sells good, and then what you like to make? How you kind of balance, you like to make this, but this sells good. So when do you kind of go back and forth between those? You can say that again however you want, or you can just answer it. I think they can.
But yeah, we can just go with it.
That's always kind of tricky because if it was up to me, if I was just making stuff that I liked, I would always do all of the bright, fun colors,
Right.
the embossed leathers, the hair on hides, the
Teal.
acid washed. Yeah, teal. It's the best
Teal.
color.
It's the best color.
It's the best color. Yeah.
Are you a Tiffany lady?
There's tons of teal in it, and she says, you can't touch that tub, that's mine.
He always wants to cut it up. He's always threatening, I'm going to cut up your teal leather. I'm like, no, that's mine. I'm going to make something with it one day.
It's got to be the most special products for the
Yeah.
teal.
But that's always tricky because brown is the best seller, which is also kind of boring a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah. It's always tricky. I usually try and do one brown to every color that I do.
All
But
right.
still, at the end of the shows, you'll be out of every brown, and you'll still have colors left.
Yeah.
And no matter how many browns she takes, it seems like she always sells out of brown.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because everybody seems to love their bright colors or this or that. But, when it comes to something and really probably something, that is maybe a little bit more than just an accessory, especially one of these larger totes or something, you're like, okay, well, if I get a teal or a pink, that's only going to go with so many things. And maybe, I don't know why you wouldn't. I'm a one bag lady. I have one bag. I have one purse. And then sometimes if I need to go to an event where I feel like I need something close to my body or I'm going to fly, then I have a fanny pack backpack situation. But I have 2 bags. But I know a lot of people have many bags and they change them out all the time. And so for me, I'm just like, well, I like green, so I have a green purse because that's the one I'm going to carry. But brown is usually it's a safe bet for most people who don't necessarily want to change things with the accessories that they might be wearing.
And she usually tries to do lots of different browns. You see
Right.
some leather workers, they have one brown tone and that's it. She likes to have lots of different browns.
Yeah.
To have a variety. So
Sure, the whole spectrum of brown.
Yeah,
it's a big spectrum.
Even though you're getting a neutral, you can still choose like what shade of neutral you want to get. Yeah, and finish like the shiny or the
a matte,
distressed. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Do you find that there's one that sells better, a distressed one or a shiny version?
Not really. I have one show that distressed bags, that is the most popular thing at that show. Every year, people will pick out the most distressed brown bag that I have. Yeah. So I always try to make up extra for that. But other than that, it's usually just kind of depends on the person if they want to get an embossed brown or like the buffalo or a distressed one.
Yeah.
And for that one show, we literally have a tub. We'll throw all the one certain brown in. Just be like, that's the one that's going to sell at that show.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Do you keep your little notes of like each show's little
for every year
particularities?
Because it's very nice. Some are the same every year and some are not. But you see some patterns for sure.
Where do you sell all your hair on? Where does that go?
It's not one. I mean, it sells really well, but it's kind of starting to slow down a little bit. I don't think it's quite as popular as it once was. Been. Yeah, but it still sells. I sold a couple Care-on hide bags this weekend, so nice. But it just sells about at every show, other than the show with the distressed leather bags, because that's pretty much all.
That's
what
sells. They want.
Well, you can sell the black and white Care-on hide
or the brown and cream. Yeah, the regular ones.
That's what sells there.
Yeah. I feel like when everybody started outfitting the toe of their Hey Dudes with the hair on, like you just saw this like spike in hair on accessories of all kinds with that little toe situation. But everybody was like, oh, that's really cool. Put hair on hide on everything, which you totally can. It's a thing.
It makes the biggest mess to cut
I hate, anytime the shop has to cut up the hair on, they're just like, I hate you guys.
When I pick out a hair on hide for the leather that we're going to cut up that day, he's not happy at all.
He said everything. You care. A month later, it was poking me through my shirt. You can vacuum it, you can roll it.
It doesn't go away.
It's there.
And I have to hear about it, that it's in his chair for the next month after we cut it up.
And you got a bunch we need to cut up right now.
Ew,
we just keep putting it off. We're like, we'll do that the last day before the show.
So this is what you do when you build your new studio. You're going to have an outside table where you cut up the hair on hide. Yeah. Well, that's really exciting. When do you think here in the next, you said in the next year?
Probably
2 years?
The next 1 to 2 years, I'll start on that project. Yeah.
Start working on that.
Yeah.
Winter's probably, well, I guess that's good that the summertime, you got all the flowers and the vegetables and all those things going, and then wintertime is your busy leather season. So that works out well, it seems.
Our greenhouse starts up in January every year, so
not so much.
No.
Well, she graduated high school and college the same year, and
that's impressive.
It was rough. I mean, trying to do both of those and keep up with the shows and the farm. And we thought, the next year will be so much easier. No, she had so many orders.
She's so busy.
She's been so busy. Like right now, you got 10 orders that you got literally since the weekend that need sewed up. So.
Oh, wow.
And it's usually about 5 a week. It seems like most weeks you get orders of just certain colors or whatever somebody's wanting.
Something.
Yeah.
Very cool. What's your turnaround time? Like, what do you try to stick to?
It just kind of depends on like how busy the farm is or how many orders are ahead of it. Usually I'm pretty fast though. Usually 2 weeks is about the longest.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I think takes me like 3 weeks just to figure out what I'm going to make when I get a knife in. I look at it for forever. Wow. So 2 years, you're going to have a new studio. You're going to be popping out even more. You're going to have to get an actual employee soon.
Yeah, his name is Joey. He's a really hard worker. He loves hair on hide.
No, we trade off. She works for me on the farm. I work for her on her bags.
You guys make it work.
Teamwork makes the dream
Well,
work.
the 9-year-old grandma's the one running stuff to the post office and getting it shipped for us. And just, I mean, it takes the whole family to keep up.
It does.
Well, and like this last weekend, me and my wife were at the farmer's market. Well, my grandma's helping her at the show because you got to, it's at your house, so you got to bring them, they park on one side, you bring them around back to the studio.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, when you got people going in and out, it gets confusing. And we had the greenhouse going with plant sales also, so there was
nice.
people everywhere.
You took advantage of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Very nice.
Well, normally we have mums and pumpkins this time of year, but this year the pumpkins were just been too dry, so normally we do really well for that show, and it's brought us back customers year after year for plants. Then, so
nice.
we took advantage of it.
You guys are crafty. Well, so you went to high school and college at the same time.
Yes, I got a certificate of graphic design with concurrent credit from ASU Mountain Home. Yep.
Nice.
That was the year kind of my business sort of just kind of exploded then. Like last year, it really
of course it did.
That's the best way to put it. I started getting a lot more orders. The Christmas holiday season was crazy last year.
So last year was kind of your first really like, this is almost full time.
It's been full time basically since I started.
Hours, it's been full time for years.
Yeah. But last year it just kind of seemed to be, I don't know, like it exploded. It got really busy. Yeah. It had been busy before, but it got even more busy.
Well, you constantly got ordered. That's when you really started getting order after order. Just.
I didn't have the right color bag that they wanted. I was out of brown. So I'd be like, well, I can send you pictures of the leathers that I can make one out of. Would you like to order one? Yeah, that'd be great.
You're like, no.
Every night after she's done on we'll work 12 hours in the studio until you can't hardly do anything. And then she'll be sitting on the couch and she's over there messing on her phone. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm
taking orders.
Taking orders. Yeah, sending pictures of colors. That's almost every night she's sending them. Here's 4 different leathers.
Yeah.
Here's your options.
So you have your little catalog of products that you make. Like these are the things that I make, and then you post them, and then people will reach out and be like, "Oh, do you have this in this color, or can you make it in that color?" And so you really do some custom stuff.
Yeah,
I mean to the extent of you'd be like, "Yeah, I can make you this," and you're super active in that communication on making sure that you're getting your people taken care of. A lot of work.
I'm not good at setting limits. Like it will be like 10:30 or 9:30, and I'll be making a post with everything that we sewed up that day and getting it on there. And then somebody will message and be like, "Is this available?" I'll be like, I'll respond in the morning. 5 minutes later, I'm saying, "Yes, it's available. Would you like it?" It's just so hard not to.
Here's your payment link.
Yeah. Well, do it while you're young, honey, because. I mean, maybe not in your family. When you get old, it gets tired, but that's really awesome that, and I think a lot of people aren't necessarily willing to put that much effort or to get to that. Like you are living your leather work. You're doing your farm stuff with your family. You get that done, and then you come in and like, this is the remaining hours that you are awake before you go to sleep. And that's, that's what it takes. I know that was Kevin's life whenever he first, started being a manager at Tandy. That really wasn't paying the bills. It wasn't completing the circle of finance that he needed to raise his kids and do his family. And so, when they moved down here from Fargo, he was like, all right, there's Silver Dollar City right there. And he set up a little workshop in his garage, and he had his girls. They were making wallets, they were making belts, and they were selling them to Silver Dollar City. And that was his little side gig. So he's always had something. He would come in, and he was a manager at Tandy. And he would go home and he would make wallets and belts and money clips and probably a million other things. And they're little, I always call it those little family sweatshops. Imagine his little girls sitting there sewing up wallets in the middle of the night. But, well, what is, how do you want your company to evolve in the next, you have a studio in mind. Is this the way that you imagine that you're going to continue to do business? Are you thinking about shifting business to, maybe more on the custom side, less production? Or are you pretty happy with the kind of the scale of how it's working right now?
I definitely do not want to get into custom orders. That is just a nightmare. Like
Yeah.
when somebody hands you their bag, they're like, I've carried this bag for 30 years. Can you make another one? I'm like, no, I don't want your icky bag. Or they'll whip out their wallet from their pocket. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. They'll be like, can you recreate this wallet? I've carried it in my pocket for 40 years.
Don't hand me that.
No.
And it's all sweaty.
Yeah.
Sweaty at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Can you remake me this?
No, I cannot.
Yeah.
Even if I could, I'm not going to. So definitely, probably not any custom orders
Sure.
besides the colors. But I definitely want to do more new designs. They take a lot of time for me. It seems like it at least takes 1 or 2 days to get the new design to where I like it.
Is that all? Just 1 to 2 days?
Usually, because we don't have more time than
For a
that.
prototype. If
Yeah.
it's any more than that, usually we leave it and go back to production.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah.
But even after we get the design, it still takes us a while we'll usually mess up a few trying to make them because we can't remember, like, oh, we need to do the D-rigs first before the pockets and stuff like that. So there's always some chance for that happening, messing
You
a
got
lot
to
of
set up
stuff
those
up.
SOPs. You got to write down those standard order of operations.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we build this thing.
I always leave out one direction. I'll write
Mhm.
everything down. I always leave something out or a size off, or we change the size, and then it's a month later we're making something that we don't make all the time. I'm like, how did we make that, or what did we do? And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Do you have like a little sample shelf of all of your products?
No,
No.
not really.
She always sells the prototypes. Like we'll make something and we'll have one, and I got to visually look at something when we make it.
Yeah.
She'll sell it on me. And I'm like, I've got to try to recreate this from a piece of cardboard down. I'm like, man.
It says you just need to start buying the ugly leather bundles, and then your prototype is like an ugly leather that you don't want to sell. That's
She
like
does,
nobody wants to
I
buy
scratch
this.
pattern on stuff.
Yeah.
So I
it
won't
makes
sell
her
it.
mad.
Yeah.
Like everything is for sale in this room.
Yes, pretty much. I usually ask him, can I sell this? And he'll be like, I guess so. And then I'll be like, guess what? I sold it. And he'll be
Well, it
like,
just slows me down if I've got to. I need to look at that just to make sure that's how that pocket went or that's how this went. But I mean, I've got the measurements, but I need to visually see it. And she'll sell it, and then it slows it down for a few days till we make some more again. And
Yeah.
the bags, I mean, we do them in our sleep. It's kind of, we wore our patterns out and everything else, doing those over and over.
Do you mostly just have cardboard patterns, or do you cut out acrylic at this point, or?
Most of our patterns right now are just either written down or, like, the bigger things, they're on poster board.
Yeah.
I do have a big laser, a big Omtech. Is it a 60 watt? Yeah, it's a big laser,
Mhm.
but I actually haven't had the time to really mess around with it. I've had it for like probably getting close to 3 years now, so I do have the ability to cut out acrylic patterns and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I just haven't had
Or even
the
just your
time or
pieces.
space. Yeah.
But it stinks out of our studio so bad.
Yeah, you got to vent that out.
We've got to get it in a different building.
So maybe that's, you have some stuff, you have some technology
Mhm.
that you already own that you're not utilizing yet, that maybe once you're in your bigger space
Mhm.
with a little bit better setup
She
that you
wants
can
to get
actually use.
The clicker, the big
A
clicker,
clicker with
some of the
dies.
patterns and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
because this you can just click out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so many of our things.
Mhm.
We were talking about the other day, it'd be well worth paying to have those made just to click them out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I'm freehanding all that. That's me with a roto cutter trying to cut half a circle on a pencil line.
Yeah. All right. So the next 2 years, we're gonna industrialize production a little bit.
Yes.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
Well, because then that'll speed up that'll just allow you to make things so much quicker.
Mhm.
And we both won't have to be there at the same time, too.
Yeah.
If she can click it out, then I don't have to be there to cut it or things like that.
Yeah.
It'll be so much faster for both of us.
I would say hand cutting parts is like 50% of the time of like producing the item. Because a sewing machine, you can sew it up real fast. I still hand sew all my stuff, so sewing is really not very fast. But when you got a machine, you're going from hours of hand stitching to literal minutes in a machine to have it done. So like your production is skewed because you can't produce the parts as fast as you can put them together.
Yeah.
I think we usually figure if I cut for a full day, that's enough. It'll take her a week to assemble it. So
Yeah. All right.
He's
Look at that.
he's a fast cutter.
as long as I'm doing the same thing over and over.
Right.
But
Right.
We've got the big 8-foot cutting table that we custom made and everything. You know, and it's a nice setup for that. But we cut everything just with a ruler and a roto cutter mainly.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Straps,
you guys.
everything there. We can hand cut all those with just a ruler.
You need to start in the spring when we have our auction. You need to start coming up to the auction and looking at machinery. Start. Have you already started doing that? I don't know if you've done that.
I saw the advertisement for it, but I told myself, no, I do not have room for machinery or more leather. Around that time, I think it was like the weekend after the auction, I came up here and bought a bunch of leather this year. I remember, because I remember Rusty telling me about the auction. I was like, yeah.
Well, it's our business. Whatever weekend that was, like one of our busiest for plant
I think it's
sales.
like May. Yeah. So that makes sense. Well, once you have your space available and open, you'll have to come check out the auction, see what kind of, like sometimes a clicker or two will show up, or we'll just have, like one of the hydraulic ones or just something, get you on your way, get you fixed up and moving in there. And also, I feel like in the area that you're in, there has been a lot of like shoe repair companies going out of business, or like kind of some of those old small mom and pop stores that have done a little bit of leather work over the years. And they're always popping up like once or twice a year. I feel like there's somebody will pop up and they're going out of business and they want to sell their stuff, and you can buy a whole shop for pennies on the dollar.
And it's funny, in our little area, I mean, our little town of 100 people or 200 people, there's 3 or 4 leather workers there. There's another young leather worker literally at the other end of our farm, but totally different style. It's all tooled and that kind of stuff. And then there's 2 or 3 older leather workers there.
Well, that's really cool. You've got a nice little support group if you need it.
Yeah.
So very nice. All right. Well, it has been a very lovely pleasure talking with you here this morning. Thank you for coming in and sharing your business with us a little bit, sharing about you. It's always super encouraging to see the young people come in. I know that's something that we talk about a lot in the leather community, how a lot of the leather crafters are in the older sphere. They're, either they've been doing it for a long time, or you've got a lot of people that are going into retirement, and that's something that, they did when they were in high school. And so now they're coming back in. But to see a young person be able to really make a business, like this is your full-time gig, with the exception of the plants, but this is your full-time thing, and that you did make it work. And you came into the website side of things, or, like the online sales side of things. But you started small. You started at the farmer's market. You went out there, you found your clients, you just started making something a little bit on the side. And that's something that Kevin has always really encouraged. He has this story that he likes to tell about this young guy that came in with his grandma, and he just wanted to make a wallet, and Kevin sent him home with the things that he needed to make this little wallet. And then he sold it to his dad for like $25 or $30, back in the 80s or something. And then his dad took it to work. And then the guys at work were like, oh my goodness, we love your wallet. And then he made a couple more for the guys at work. And then he came into the store maybe like 20 years later, and he was a leather crafter. Like that's, he was doing it. That was still his job. And, just trying out that little something when you're younger, how I know, we were talking to Ryan Watson with Anvil Customs here in Springfield, and he's like, if you can be self-employed, be self-employed. You have your freedom, your own creativity to do what you want. And so I just think that it's a really cool thing that you're doing. So thank you for coming in and sharing it with us.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time on the Make Something podcast, Springfield Leather. Bye. And that's a wrap on episode 5 of the Make Something podcast. A big thank you to Elizabeth from EJK Custom Creations for taking the time to share her knowledge and perspective with us. Make sure you check her out on her Facebook page and website. That's at EJK Custom Creations. If you're enjoying the podcast so far, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow maker. We've got plenty more conversations coming your way. Until next time, keep learning, keep creating, and most importantly, make something.